this?
Oh, damn.
What is this?
Too much bread. Way too much bread. The bread overpowers the meat.
It's like a Big Mac, you know, like too much bread.
What if the biggest threat in your favorite fast food meal isn't just the calories, but the ingredients, health inspection reports, and corporate decisions made long before your order reaches the counter?
In the bun of this burger, there is an ingredient that is banned in the European Union, in the UK, in Australia, all over the world, but it's allowed in the United States.
Millions of Americans visit these restaurants every day, trusting familiar names they've known for decades. But are those brands still worthy of that trust? Today, we're counting down the 12 U.S. fast food chains that have raised the most concerns, before revealing 4 restaurants still praised for freshness, transparency, and family-friendly standards. Number 12. Arby's. Arby's has spent decades convincing customers that it is different from the average burger chain. Instead of focusing on hamburgers, it built its identity around towering roast beef sandwiches, slow-roasted meats, and the famous slogan, "We have the meats." That image has helped the company stand out in an incredibly crowded fast food industry. However, behind the premium branding, nutrition experts have repeatedly pointed out that many of Arby's most popular menu items are packed with sodium, saturated fat, and heavily processed meats. While enjoying one meal occasionally is unlikely to cause harm for most people, making it a regular habit can become a concern for people watching their heart health or blood pressure. Beyond nutrition, some individual Arby's locations have attracted unwanted attention from health inspectors over the years. Inspection reports at various restaurants have documented issues involving improper food holding temperatures, sanitation deficiencies, and equipment cleanliness. Although these violations do not represent every Arby's restaurant, they raise concerns about operational consistency across such a large franchise system. A restaurant is only as reliable as the standards maintained inside each individual kitchen. Another factor worth considering is ownership. Arby's operates under Inspire Brands, one of the largest restaurant groups in the United States. Managing thousands of restaurants across multiple chains allows for enormous buying power and operational efficiency. But critics argue that large corporate structures often place significant pressure on controlling costs and maximizing profits. Those priorities may not always align perfectly with maintaining the highest possible food quality. Most people assume drinks are harmless compared to sandwiches, but the next restaurant proves sugar alone can become the biggest problem on the menu. Number 11. Sonic Drive-In. Few fast food chains capture American nostalgia quite like Sonic Drive-In. Pulling into a parking space, ordering through an old-fashioned speaker, and watching a car hop deliver your meal creates an experience that feels more like stepping back in time than grabbing a quick bite. For many families, Sonic is tied to childhood memories, summer road trips, and late-night milkshakes. That emotional connection has helped the brand maintain a loyal following, even as questions about food quality and restaurant consistency have continued to surface. Over the years, health inspectors have cited a few different Sonic locations for problems tied to food storage temperatures, sanitation practices, and equipment cleanliness in general. These issues have not shown up at every single restaurant, but they do point to the bigger challenge of keeping consistent standards across a huge franchise network. One place might run really smoothly, while another one seems to stumble on the basics of food safety expectations. That lopsided performance makes it hard for customers to even guess what kind of experience they will get from one visit to the next. Nutrition is a separate worry too. A lot of Sonic's well-known frozen drinks, slushes, shakes, and desserts include surprisingly high levels of sugar, calories, and carbohydrates. Some specialty beverages basically hand over more sugar than many people ought to have in a whole day, and combo meals can quickly push past recommended limits for sodium and saturated fat. Number 10. Wendy's. Wendy's built one of the most recognizable slogans in fast food history with its promise of fresh, never frozen beef. That message helped separate the chain from competitors and convinced millions of customers that they were getting a higher quality burger. While the statement refers to the beef before it is cooked, it does not automatically mean every ingredient on the menu is fresher or healthier. From sauces and buns to chicken products and side items, much of the menu still relies on the same highly processed ingredients commonly found throughout the fast food industry. Nutrition is another place where Wendy's gets a lot of pushback. A lot of its famous burgers, sandwiches, and those combo meals tend to pack a pretty high amount of sodium, saturated fat, and calories. And yeah, even the salads, which people often treat like a safer pick or a lighter option, can get kinda heavy once you add all the toppings, cheese, and dressing. So if someone is trying to cut back on salt or tune up their diet, these not-so-obvious nutritional trade-offs can quickly cancel out what the restaurant marketing is trying to promise. Food safety is another topic that pops up now and then. Over the years, some Wendy's locations have been hit with health inspection issues, especially around food handling, cleanliness, and temperature control. Of course, like most big franchise setups, this doesn't mean every restaurant is the same, but it does show that results can swing a lot depending on the specific location. On top of that, customer feedback about uneven food quality and service kind of hints that the whole experience can depend more on the local store, not the brand as a whole. Number 9. Burger King. Burger King has long promoted its flame-grilled burgers as a healthier alternative to traditional fast food. The open-flame cooking process gives its signature Whopper a distinctive smoky flavor that many customers prefer over standard grilled patties. While flame grilling may reduce some grease during cooking, it does not transform the overall meal into a healthier option. Many of Burger King's most popular menu items still contain large amounts of sodium, saturated fat, refined carbohydrates, and processed ingredients that nutrition experts recommend consuming only in moderation. One more issue that comes up pretty often is how consistent the restaurant operations are. Burger King leans quite a lot on independently managed franchises, so while a lot of spots keep things pretty solid, some others have had real trouble during health inspections. A number of reports from different restaurants describe problems like food storage that isn't properly controlled, basic cleanliness that falls short, equipment that isn't maintained as it should be, and also the correct food handling practices not being followed. These kinds of issues aren't usually system-wide, but they do show how a customer's experience can swing a lot depending on which location they end up at. A very neat and spotless restaurant in one city might turn into a letdown just a few miles away. There's also the age of many Burger King restaurants, which has become more of a concern lately. Some places haven't seen meaningful renovations in years, and the end result is a sort of dated look that people often connect with lower quality. You'll notice worn dining areas, kitchen gear that keeps getting older, and maintenance that feels inconsistent. And all of that can shape how customers judge both cleanliness and food safety, even if the meals are technically put together correctly. When this is layered on top of uneven customer service across franchises, it continues to weigh on the chain's overall reputation. Number 8. Jack in the Box. Few fast food chains carry a chapter in their history as defining as Jack in the Box. In 1993, the company became the center of one of the most devastating E. coli outbreaks in American history. Hundreds of people became seriously ill after eating contaminated hamburgers, and several children lost their lives. The tragedy shocked the nation, triggered lawsuits, and forced both the restaurant industry and government regulators to strengthen food safety standards. It became a turning point that changed how meat temperatures, inspections, and food handling procedures were monitored across the United States. To the company's credit, Jack in the Box responded by investing heavily in food safety. It adopted stricter cooking requirements, improved employee training, and implemented more rigorous quality control systems. Many experts now recognize the chain as one of the industry's strongest advocates for food safety improvements. However, public perception often lingers long after changes have been made. For many consumers, the events of 1993 remain closely tied to the brand, serving as a reminder of how devastating a single food safety failure can become. Even though day-to-day operational standards have gotten way better, nutritional concerns still sort of hover around a lot of the menu. Jack in the Box is basically remembered for its huge burgers, piled high fries, fried tacos, creamy milkshakes, and late-night specialty items that really push indulgence rather than balance. A lot of these meals rack up high sodium levels, saturated fat, and calories, so it's not easy to squeeze them into a healthier diet unless you rarely eat them. The chain has broadened its menu to catch a wide range of tastes, but when the portions grow, those nutritional compromises usually grow too. Number 7. Checkers Rallies. Checkers and Rallies have built their reputation around one simple promise: big portions for low prices. Whether customers visit a Checkers or a Rallies location, depending on the region, the menu is packed with burgers, seasoned fries, hot dogs, and value meals designed to deliver as much food as possible without stretching the wallet. That strategy has made the chain popular among bargain hunters, but critics argue that keeping prices low often depends on relying heavily on processed ingredients, frozen products, and recipes designed for speed rather than nutrition. Health inspections have also drawn attention to some locations over the years. Various restaurants have received violations involving improper food storage, sanitation issues, and temperature control. These findings do not represent every Checkers or Rallies restaurant, but they highlight the challenges of maintaining consistent food safety standards across a large franchise system. Since many locations operate with small kitchens and high customer volume, even minor mistakes in food handling can become larger concerns if not corrected quickly. Nutrition remains another major issue. Many of the chain's signature burgers, loaded fries, and fried chicken sandwiches contain extremely high amounts of sodium, saturated fat, and calories. Pairing these meals with sugary soft drinks or milkshakes pushes those totals even higher. A single combo meal can account for much of an adult's recommended daily intake of sodium and fat, making frequent visits difficult to fit into a balanced eating plan. While these meals are designed to satisfy cravings rather than serve as health food, the nutritional impact can be significant over time. Southern comfort food is supposed to taste homemade, but the next restaurant has faced repeated questions about consistency behind the scenes. Number 6. Popeyes. Popeyes has earned a loyal following by serving bold Louisiana-style flavors, crispy fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and spicy sandwiches that regularly generate long lines. The chain's popularity exploded even further after the launch of its famous chicken sandwich, creating one of the biggest fast food crazes in recent history. While the taste continues to win over millions of customers, nutrition experts have consistently pointed out that many of Popeyes' signature meals are loaded with sodium, saturated fat, and calories. Frequent consumption of deep-fried foods can become a concern for anyone trying to maintain a healthier diet or manage heart health. The chain's rapid success has also revealed challenges behind the scenes. During major product launches, some restaurants struggled to keep up with overwhelming customer demand. Long wait times, temporary ingredient shortages, and staffing pressures highlighted how quickly operations can become strained when demand exceeds expectations. Although these situations were temporary, they demonstrated how supply chains and restaurant staff can be pushed to their limits during high-profile promotions. Health inspection reports have also documented sanitation and food handling violations at certain Popeyes locations over the years. Issues involving food storage temperatures, equipment cleanliness, and kitchen sanitation have appeared at various restaurants, though they are not representative of every location. Like many franchise-based chains, customer experiences can vary significantly depending on management and how consistently food safety procedures are followed. One restaurant may maintain excellent standards, while another may receive repeated inspection citations. Number 5. Dairy Queen. For generations, Dairy Queen has been the place families visit to celebrate birthdays, cool off during summer, or enjoy a quick dessert after dinner. Its famous blizzards, soft-serve cones, and ice cream cakes have become iconic parts of American fast food culture. That friendly image often makes people think of Dairy Queen as a dessert stop rather than a traditional fast food restaurant. However, many of its signature frozen treats contain remarkably high amounts of sugar, calories, and saturated fat. Depending on the size and flavor, a single blizzard can provide more calories and added sugar than many people should consume in an entire meal. The concerns do not end with dessert. Dairy Queen also serves burgers, chicken strips, fries, hot dogs, and other fried menu items that carry their own nutritional challenges. Many combination meals contain substantial amounts of sodium, saturated fat, and refined carbohydrates. Pairing one of these meals with a large frozen dessert can easily push calorie intake far beyond recommended levels for a single sitting. While these meals are intended as occasional indulgences, frequent visits may contribute to long-term health concerns if they become part of a regular routine. Another criticism centers on how the menu is presented. Advertising often highlights creamy desserts, colorful toppings, and limited-time treats, while giving far less attention to the nutritional information behind them. Customers naturally focus on flavor and appearance, making it easy to overlook just how much sugar, fat, and calories are packed into each serving. Although nutritional information is publicly available, it is rarely the centerpiece of the marketing message. Number 4. KFC. KFC has built its reputation on one of the world's most recognizable recipes. The Colonel's famous blend of herbs and spices transformed fried chicken into a global fast food icon, attracting customers for generations. Crispy buckets, mashed potatoes, biscuits, and gravy have become comfort food staples for millions of families. Yet despite its legendary status, nutrition experts have long warned that many of KFC's signature meals contain large amounts of sodium, saturated fat, and calories. A typical family meal or combination order can easily exceed recommended daily limits for fat and salt, especially when paired with fried sides and sugary drinks. Food safety has also become an issue at certain locations over the years. Health inspections at individual KFC restaurants have documented violations involving food storage temperatures, sanitation practices, equipment cleanliness, and employee hygiene. These reports do not reflect the performance of every restaurant, but they demonstrate the challenge of maintaining consistent standards across thousands of franchise locations. As with many large chains, one restaurant may earn excellent inspection results, while another struggles to meet basic requirements. Beyond the restaurants themselves, KFC has also faced criticism over aspects of its poultry supply chain. Animal welfare organizations and consumer watchdog groups have questioned sourcing practices and raised concerns about the historical use of antibiotics within parts of the poultry industry. Although many suppliers have adopted improved standards and reduced antibiotic use in recent years, advocacy groups continue encouraging greater transparency and stronger commitments throughout the supply chain. Number 3. Subway. For years, Subway positioned itself as the healthier alternative to traditional fast food. Customers could watch their sandwiches being assembled, choose fresh vegetables, and customize nearly every ingredient. That level of personalization helped create the impression that Subway offered a lighter and more nutritious meal than burgers and fried chicken. However, over the years, that healthy image has faced repeated challenges through ingredient controversies, lawsuits, and marketing disputes that caused many customers to question whether the brand truly lived up to its reputation. Nutrition became one of Subway's biggest concerns. While its sandwiches often seem lighter than burgers, many menu items contain surprisingly high amounts of sodium. Processed meats, cheeses, sauces, and flavored breads quickly increase salt levels, meaning even vegetable-filled sandwiches can exceed recommended sodium limits. Customers focused only on calories may overlook just how much sodium a single meal can contain. Consistency is a different, long-running issue. Subway runs one of the largest franchise networks on Earth, with thousands of restaurants that are independently owned. Many spots manage things well, keeping fresh ingredients and solid standards. But other locations get complaints tied to stale bread, a narrower veggie selection, uneven serving sizes, or just poor food quality. Since each franchise owner handles day-to-day operations, the whole experience can drift a lot, restaurant to restaurant. In other words, a sandwich made at one place may look and taste completely different, even when the same order is placed elsewhere. Number 2. McDonald's. No fast food brand has shaped the industry more than McDonald's. With tens of thousands of restaurants serving millions of customers every day, the Golden Arches have become one of the most recognizable symbols in the world. Its burgers, fries, chicken McNuggets, and breakfast menu have influenced countless competitors and helped define modern fast food. Yet despite its enormous success and operational efficiency, McDonald's continues facing criticism over the nutritional quality of many of its most popular menu items. A large portion of the menu relies on ultra-processed ingredients designed to deliver consistent taste, long shelf life, and efficient preparation across thousands of locations. While these systems help ensure customers receive nearly the same meal, whether they're in New York, Texas, or California, health experts argue that frequent consumption of highly processed foods may contribute to long-term health concerns when combined with poor overall dietary habits. Burgers, fries, sauces, desserts, and soft drinks often contain high levels of sodium, added sugars, saturated fat, and refined carbohydrates. Health advocates have repeatedly pointed out that many McDonald's combination meals can exceed recommended daily limits for calories and sodium, especially when paired with large fries and sugary beverages. Number 1. Taco Bell. Few fast food chains have generated as much debate over ingredients as Taco Bell. The company has built its brand around affordable tacos, burritos, and late-night meals that millions of Americans enjoy every week. However, its seasoned beef has remained the subject of public discussion for years after customers learned that the filling contains more than just beef. Along with seasonings and spices, the ingredient list includes additives and stabilizers that help maintain texture, moisture, and consistency. Taco Bell has explained that these ingredients are safe and commonly used throughout the food industry, but the controversy sparked a broader conversation about what people expect when they order a beef taco. Nutrition is another area where critics continue raising concerns. Many of Taco Bell's most popular menu items combine seasoned meat, cheese, sour cream, sauces, and tortillas into meals that are high in sodium, refined carbohydrates, and saturated fat. While individual tacos may seem relatively small, larger burritos, combo meals, and specialty menu items can quickly add up to substantial calorie and sodium totals. Customers who frequently choose oversized meals may consume far more than they realize in a single visit. Another issue often discussed is ingredient transparency. Although Taco Bell publishes nutritional information and ingredient lists, critics argue that many customers never take the time to examine what goes into their food. Marketing tends to emphasize bold flavors, low prices, and colorful menu items rather than lengthy ingredient labels. As a result, many people remain unaware of how processed some products can be until they look more closely. Fortunately, not every fast food chain follows the same path. A handful of companies consistently receive stronger marks for ingredient quality, food preparation, and customer trust. And here are the 4 fast food chains that continue earning praise for their freshness, higher food standards, transparency, and family-friendly reputation. Number 4. Sweetgreen. Sweetgreen was created with a very different philosophy from traditional fast food chains. Instead of building its menu around burgers, fries, and fried chicken, the company focuses on fresh vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and seasonal ingredients. Customers can either choose from pre-designed bowls and salads or customize nearly every part of their meal. That flexibility makes it easier for families to select options that fit different tastes and dietary preferences without sacrificing convenience. Rather than encouraging oversized portions, Sweetgreen emphasizes balance and ingredient quality as the foundation of every meal. Another reason Sweetgreen really stands out is its commitment to transparency. The company basically shares what it can, where many of its ingredients come from, and it often spotlights collaborations with farmers and local regional suppliers too. You can also find nutritional info pretty easily, so customers can sort things out before they even place an order. Of course, no restaurant is totally perfect. But this kind of openness feels different from a lot of traditional fast food chains, where ingredient lists and sourcing practices often get far less attention, kind of quietly ignored. People who actually care what goes into their food usually end up with fewer weird surprises when they dine at Sweetgreen. The menu also feels inviting to families who want lighter choices without losing the convenience factor. There are fresh greens, roasted vegetables, grains, grilled chicken, and other solid ingredients that tend to be lower in saturated fat, and also more nutrient-dense compared to typical fast food combos. Parents can customize bowls so they add things their kids like, while skipping the items they'd rather not have on the plate. That sort of personalization makes healthy eating seem less intimidating for all kinds of customers. Number 3. Chipotle. Chipotle has spent years separating itself from traditional fast food by emphasizing simple ingredients and customizable meals. Customers can watch their burritos, bowls, tacos, or salads being assembled step by step, choosing exactly which proteins, vegetables, beans, rice, and toppings they want. The company has also promoted its commitment to responsibly sourced ingredients, highlighting partnerships with suppliers that meet specific standards for animal welfare and food quality. While no large restaurant chain is without challenges, Chipotle has consistently made ingredient sourcing a central part of its identity rather than simply another marketing slogan. Customization is like another big win. Compared to a bunch of fast food places that keep everything on a fixed menu set, Chipotle lets people put meals together so they can better line up with their personal nutritional goals. For example, someone who wants a high-protein lunch can add extra chicken or steak, while another person might go with brown rice, black beans, vegetables, and salsa for something lighter. That kind of flexibility makes it easier for families with different eating preferences to sit down together without feeling boxed in by some standard menu. Plus, it gives customers more real control over things like calories, sodium, and portion sizes, more than a lot of rival chains do. That said, Chipotle's image hasn't always been spotless. Over the past decade, the company dealt with several very public food safety incidents, and that kind of attention can shake customer confidence for a while. In response, Chipotle rolled out stricter food handling steps, upgraded employee training, improved ingredient testing, and tightened quality control across its restaurants. The idea was to reduce future risks and rebuild public trust again. Of course, no single restaurant can promise zero food safety problems, but lots of industry observers have pointed out that Chipotle puts serious effort and money into upgrading its systems. Number 2. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has earned one of the strongest reputations in the fast food industry by focusing on consistency rather than offering an enormous menu. Instead of trying to compete in every category, the chain concentrates primarily on chicken sandwiches, nuggets, wraps, salads, and a relatively small selection of side items. That narrower approach allows restaurants to streamline food preparation and maintain tighter quality control. Customers generally know what to expect, whether they visit a location in a busy city or a smaller suburban community. Customer service is another area where Chick-fil-A kind of consistently shines. Independent restaurant surveys often put the chain near the top for customer satisfaction, employee friendliness, speed of service, and the whole dining vibe. The staff is generally known for polite, almost precise interactions and well-organized operations, which helps cut down on mistakes during those super busy meal times. Sure, any location can still hit occasional bumps, but the company's focus on training and on standardized procedures seems to build a reputation for dependable service that a lot of other competitors keep trying to imitate. Operational consistency also matters a lot for keeping food quality steady. Since the menu is more compact than many other fast food restaurants, each location can focus harder on preparing fewer items well instead of juggling dozens of different things at once. Fresh preparation schedules, standardized cooking steps, and careful inventory control all work together for a more predictable experience. Families often like this dependability because it reduces that uncomfortable uncertainty that can show up in larger franchise systems, where quality may swing quite a bit from one place to another. Number 1. In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out Burger has followed a remarkably different path from most major fast food chains. While competitors constantly introduce new sandwiches, desserts, and limited-time promotions, In-N-Out has kept its menu intentionally small for decades. Customers primarily choose from hamburgers, cheeseburgers, fries, drinks, and shakes, with only a handful of well-known customization options. This simplicity is one of the company's greatest strengths. By preparing fewer items, restaurants can focus on maintaining freshness, consistency, and quality, instead of managing an overwhelming number of ingredients and recipes. Fresh preparation is another reason the chain keeps getting praise from customers and food experts too. Like, the whole vibe feels real. Burgers are cooked to order, not left around under warming lamps, and the vegetables are sliced daily, and the potatoes get readied in the restaurant before they turn into fries. The company also avoids freezing its beef. It leans on frequent deliveries to keep everything tasting fresh. Now, no fast food meal should be confused with health food, but In-N-Out's commitment to limited processing and made-to-order preparation still puts it apart from a lot of competitors that lean harder on pre-packaged, or maybe just heavily treated, ingredients. Ownership helps the story too, in a quieter way. In contrast with many big restaurant chains that must answer to shareholders or private equity groups, In-N-Out stays privately owned by the Snyder family. Since there's no non-stop pressure to hit quarterly earnings targets, the business has grown slowly and carefully, rather than chasing rapid nationwide expansion. A bunch of analysts think this style has helped keep the usual standards steady, and it also helps the company stay more focused on food quality than on chasing short-term profit metrics. The next time you're deciding where to eat, you'll have a clearer picture of which restaurants have earned greater confidence and which ones may deserve a second thought. If you enjoyed this countdown, be sure to like, subscribe, and watch the next video on your screen for another eye-opening look at the foods millions of people eat every day.